Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Grand Line Gazette, where we talk about One Piece damn near every damn day. We are talking about devil fruits again. This one, we are talking about the, what is it, Moku Moku no Mi? Yeah, the smoke
Correct.
fruit. That is Kev. I am Corey. Talk about One Piece a lot. If you guys like One
hmm
Piece, hang out, like, subscribe. Let us know your favorite technique of the Moku Moku no Mi. Let us know what you guys think we should cover next, and let's get started. All right. Kev, tell us what the Moku Moku no Mi is.
Moku Moku no Mi. It's a Logia type that allows the user to create, control, and transform into smoke at will, making the user a smoke human, a Kemiri Ninjin. It was eaten by Smoker, which I don't know if he got the epitaph after he ate the smoke fruit, but if he didn't, wow, that's some awfully good luck.
Because his name's Smoker the White Hunter. So it's like, what?
Yeah.
Which one? Yeah.
What
When
came first?
when I think of like, you never watched like Dragon Ball Z, like
No.
or Dragon Ball Super, but one of the Supreme Kais calls them all Ningen because that's mortal or human. So he's like, that's like a, for him it was like a derogatory term, but this is just saying they're like smoke humans, which brings up the whole thing where it's like, what does like smoke human, jacket human, flame human, what does that actually mean?
Yeah.
Like, do you have to actually eat, drink, sleep, or anything like that? Or are you kind of like Superman, where it's like, I live off the sun? Like, does Smoker actually need anything to sustain himself?
Very true.
Or is he just like pure smoke? Um, we're going to be talking about topics like that, maybe. We're going to be talking about his techniques, mostly. If you guys like any of those kind of topics, let us know. We'll talk about it more. But Kev, you're talking about, before we started the show, he was like the bad guy for a little bit now.
He was.
So how terrifying is this smoke ability?
At the time, I mean, before we learned hockey, I mean, again, this is pre-time skip, Log Town time. He had the smoke fruit allows him. So let's go over a little bit of the strengths and weaknesses of it, though. He is able to just turn into smoke. That just goes without saying. So it for Luffy without hockey, he's untouchable. No way you can hit him. Any move you make is futile. And then he has the sea stone tipped weapons that nullify all fruit users. So he can fly, not be hit. So somebody without hockey or knows how to fight people with Logia Devil fruits, they seem like God. But how do you scale that?
And it's like we said this in our last video where we talked about the split fruit, where you mentioned that Oda isn't really too crazy about flying. I
Right.
think he had a lot of people flying in the beginning, or had the
Mm-hmm.
potential for some kind of flight in the beginning, but I think he wanted to like turn it away from like Dragon Ball Z status, where they're all flying in the air, like Bleach, where they're flying in the air. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
that's where all the fights are. I think these grounded fights actually do bring another aspect to One Piece that, maybe a lot of people aren't like too crazy about, but it's like, if you're not like flying and breaking multiple buildings and stuff like that, it's like, are you really fighting? But
Very true.
these are like a little bit different. Like, one of Smoker's techniques is whiteout, where he kind of just like a Buggy in our last video, he just shoots his hands out. But these are all like consumed in smoke, and once they grab you, he holds you up in the air and like suffocates you. Not gonna lie, random person, random criminal just stealing purses, I'm terrified.
I say I'm not I'm not the main character protagonist of a One Piece anime. I am terrified right now. This guy is going to kill me. Notably though, against another favorite of mine, the Mara no Mi, the Moku Moku no Mi goes right up against it and they cancel each other out. Now this is Ace. This isn't a Sabo Mara no Mi blast or anything like that. So I would actually put this as a weaker version of the Maramara no Mi for right now. But it's strong enough to cancel out an Ace Blast. So it's something to still be reckoned with. It just when you get into the later stages of One Piece, his morality is Smoker's morality is what sticks out more than anything else, not his power. So I kind of put him
Um,
in that role.
yeah, that's true. But it's like we have these fights. We found a way for even what's his name, Helmeppo, to be able to do something for a while. So I don't think he's I don't. I think hockey is going to be. He's got to get a way to get around hockey. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Anybody with hockey is gonna like take him out. But I
Yes.
do think he can still find use. Like we do still have like
Hmm.
Namis and Usops and stuff like that, and I do
Okay.
think he's like a step above them. Um, as far as like the attacking, like canceling out Ace, I think it's just because smoke takes away the oxygen, and for Ace's
Mm,
fire to expand, it needs oxygen. So I think the smoke was just eating away at the fire at the time. So I think
okay.
it was a lot like Blackbeard's fruit.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
I like that. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
we have the white blow, where um, I think that's another just a fist weapon where he shoots out like smoke and everything like that and strikes people. His white snake, which you were talking about, where he basically, I think that's my favorite technique of his, the white snake.
It looks cool. It does. He throws out just just a smoke snake, and he just names it White Snake, which has spun off so many theories in the Reddit community. They think he's part of the Chinese zodiac, where he's the white snake of it all. So be on the lookout for a smoker theory video in the future. He's coming back. Corey's favorite Marine right there.
He is my favorite Marine outside Bogart. He is my favorite Marine. Um, but yeah, I really do like the capabilities that he has. He has white vines where he transforms into columns where he can grab targets. Like he has a lot of applications where he can do crowd control, where he can block off blind people. A lot of things that we've talked about Nami needs, he can provide too. Like Hermes and his smoke also have similarities like with his smokestacks. Uh, they also have offensive capabilities, much like Buggy, like releasing his arms. He can shoot them out and jettison them like cannons, whether he's holding weapons or grabbing people or, incapacitating by just like cutting off their oxygen. Like, I feel like there's something there, but it's like, I feel like your abilities right now in the story are going to be best for large groups of fodder where it's like, oh no, like they're all attacking me, like I need to get out of here, and it's like, no, I'll stand in charge. You just like, you know, suffocate them all and
I
probably
and
murder like a dozen people.
I want more for him. I'll be honest. I want his awakening to be something a little bit, because when I think of Smoker, I think of he's just one piece of what Caesar has. So it's kind of like, okay, I would rather have the gas for if you gave me these two options. So I'm thinking if he awakens us later, I'm thinking, let's say he's, my head canning, he's walking, and as he's walking, things around him start turning to smoke because how hot he is, and where he kind of has this
See,
fire aspect to him as well.
I don't think it's a heat thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the smoke is just like a room temperature smoke.
Mm,
Because like the smoke is created from heat burning away things, but the smoke is just an after effect, like the ash.
mm,
So it doesn't really have
mm,
a heat itself. But I would like to see. It's like you said, it's like this ability is kind of just like a gas ability. So it's like a
okay.
died down version of like Caesar's ability. So it's like we may talk about Caesar later. So it'll be like how are these very different from each other, like the heat fruit and the Marinomi, because there
Mm,
are specific differences that only one can do that the other can't. Um, I'm finding a hard time figuring out what this guy can do that Caesar can't. maybe Caesar can't make straight up smoke, but he can make a chemical haze. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like an acid haze. Like, and that might be worse.
He's like, oh, I couldn't make smoke, but I made mustard gas. He's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Will this
oh, okay.
work?
Will this work? Yeah. We'll murder them instead of knock them out. Got it. Okay.
Oh, who's to say he wasn't murdering them already? you
Fair
know
enough.
what smoke inhalation does to people? Like two
enough.
weeks down the line.
Oh, what is that? O2 poisoning or something
Yeah,
like that?
so he is a murderer.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
Fair enough.
What do you guys think? What ability do you guys like? The white launcher, where he kind of like shoots himself with his sword and pins people down. White snake, white vine. Like, these are a lot of cool abilities, but I feel like his abilities are hero abilities. Very, very generic, very straightforward. But when you use them in the right way, like, oh, cool, like you made it out of this situation. But I don't think you have antagonist abilities because you can't really do too much with them outside that you can't do elsewhere. I'll say that.
I mean, some shadow clones would be great from Smoker. I mean, give me something. I need to see. Don't come back whipping the. I don't want to see White Snake again. Like whip out some new stuff.
Exactly.
Shadow clones would be great.
I think that's why I'm trying, because when you're a hero, when they have heroes in these stories, they use these things in like the least like deadly way possible. So it's like they find new ways to use it. Like Naruto's shadow clones, like a lot of times they just jump people, but it's like they didn't just make shadow clone and stab somebody. You know what I mean? Like they did other stuff. He used it for the Rasengan and stuff. Like Smoker has abilities to kill people, but he's not a killer. So it's like, now what do you do with him? Make a shadow clone or something. Fucking smoke shurikens or something. Make the smoke into blades. I don't know.
Give me some.
Now I'm rambling. But yeah, that is.
We want better for Smoker. I don't want that to go unsaid. Like, I want Smoker to be good, but he needs to work at it. Maybe take some classes from Kobe. I don't know. But you guys tell us, how could we make Smoker the best admiral
Make
in the Marines?
Smoker useful. Again. All right.
You guys tell us.
Later.
Later.